So UK influencers are promoting the army via Fortnite to children. Yeah, you heard that right. How do we even get into this dystopian world? As young Philly, Elzthewitch, King Kenny, and Talia seem to have dropped into the wrong war zone and are now caught up in their own actions. Because taking every brand deal under the sun, despite morality and lack of judgment, seems to be the plan, doesn't it, right? And it really shows how influencers can look down the barrel of, like, pure irony just for a couple of bags. But why has this happened? How's it such a problem? Let's talk about it. So hello everyone, welcome back. I'm Jake Baz. We cover the weird and wonderful on the internet, and today we're going to be judging the actions of some of the biggest UK influencers about. It's a massive PR disaster, and it's only getting deeper and darker from here, and I think they've got some explaining to do. Let me just say that it's no hate to the actual creators' content in this video. I'm not trying to cancel anyone. I'm just highlighting how morally inept this social campaign is, and the fact they didn't say no despite their large sizes and the amount of money that they'll make. To me, it just doesn't make any sense at all. Like, what are they actually thinking apart from the amount of money that they'll get? So basically, the UK army is on a promotional campaign and they're looking for new people to sign up, and they had a big brainstorm and they realized, how should we actually do this? And they decided that they wanted to do it by getting a load of influencers in a Fortnite event. Yeah, it's just such a dystopian world, innit? And seriously, I just don't get this. But before we get into this, if you do enjoy a creator who doesn't promote moral ineptness, please hit the like button and subscribe. I'd love to see you back. So this is the initial tweet. Check it out. Elzthewitch, Young Philly, battle to be the best on the new hashtag Fortnite experience operation. Belong. With the hashtag you belong here. And if you take the Fortnite out of the equation, any influencer promoting like people to join the army, it's a bit weird, but it's not exactly bad. But the fact that it's Fortnite just makes it so much worse. And throughout this trailer, they promote loads of stuff like you belong here, the promotion of the campaign, work as one. Yeah, definitely. Conquer obstacles. Young Philly versus Elzthewitch. Who's coming? Who's coming? Who's coming? And it is weird because it actually looks like an advertisement that you'd see like generally from the army, but it's actually in Fortnite, which really racks my head a little bit. But this is the real problem, innit? It's the fact that it's promoting Fortnite for the army, like really on itself, and then they're getting a load of creators to make this creative world for Fortnite that people are going to go in and end up being in and watching, with the entire thing encompassing around the fact that it's Team X versus Team Y, or in this case, for example, with this one, Team Philly versus Team Elzthewitch, who are two massive UK creators. I'm definitely not a flag dick rider, alright? I don't care if you go in the army. I don't really want to myself. I'm pathetic, but that's just me. But it's also all of the problems that the army causes in general. But I'm going to be a pacifist about it. This is just weird. But the weirdest thing is the fact that they're using Fortnite to promote it. And they're not only using it to promote it, I think it's even worse from there, because as you can see at the bottom here, it says this is not sponsored, endorsed, or administered by Epic Games Inc. And they could be in a little bit of legal trouble. And some of the irony between the influencers that are promoted on this, such as Young Philly, we'll get onto in a second, is actually like, it's unbearable. But why is this potentially going to have a lot of bad backlashes? Well, it's this. It's in the Fortnite summary around creating these islands, which for reference, islands are these places that you see here. Essentially just a created map for people to go on and test their agility. But on the content guidelines to promote this sort of stuff, as you can see, commercial content and sponsors must follow all content rules above and Epic guidelines and must not promote enrollment in the military. And Elzthewitch, Young Philly, you might want to tell your sponsor that, because despite saying, oh, we're not sponsored, we're not sponsoring or endorsing Fortnite and not doing that, well, from @ArmyJobs, would you think that this is potentially promoting people to go and sign up? I think the big fat obvious answer is yes. And when you're using a game that majoritively children use, why would you want to promote it via something like that, unless you want it to sort of assimilate to what you're doing? Like, you know, oh, you can hit someone in the head with a scar, so you could do that in real life. Maybe this was just all our calling. Maybe us all playing Fortnite back then, it was just meant for this moment. But then, like I said, it's not just the fact that it is Fortnite that is aimed at children, so you're promoting this, which is very odd, and it's also potentially illegal, allegedly. But to the creators that are doing this, I would potentially suggest they have no moral backbone front and are just going for the bag because I think after looking at this for 5 seconds, I could realise that this is probably not the target audience I'm trying to hit. This seems like a very bad problem. This seems like a PR disaster. And that's just me, basic thinking. Like, I mean, especially with what's going on in the world, it gets worse. But the people that are in it, it's even more hilarious, the irony. And the main person we want to talk about in this situation is Philly. So Philly's an influencer that's on loads of social media platforms. He does Twitch streaming, he does YouTube, he does music. He's there, he's got his fingers in every single pie. He's also in the beta squad, which essentially is like Sidemen Light, but it's a better version of it. Which also, Harponero that we'll get onto, he's also in that. And here you can see the tweet here. Who's ready? It's Team Young Philly versus Elzthewitch on the new Army Jobs Fortnite experience, Operation Belong. Because you belong to go in the army. And he's just getting absolutely cooked. A lot of people are saying it's dystopian, definitely. And there's a lot of hidden replies, such as this. Why are you recruiting literal children? Because that is essentially the point of it. Getting these kids into the minds of, oh, my favourite influencers work with the army, and the army seems like a cool place to work for, so then they end up signing up to literal war. And the thing is as well, Philly is known for being this person that loves money, is obsessed with money, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. Perfect example here.
I love my job and I love the brand.
Yes, I tell them that now.
Please keep on booking me.
Yes.
I love you all.
Big period.
Yeah.
Just you know that's my favorite thing to do that.
What?
Because
Well, you
we
do the
love
self-promo.
the brand. you know that's my favorite thing. When you do that, because you're basically saying, "Allow my bag, let me just keep making
I'm trying to get the money.
I'm
trying to get to the
yeah.
money.
Mumsy's living good.
Big period. That's the dream.
Do you do?
Love that.
That's just one of many, but it shows that Philly is the type of person that wants to run for these sort of deals and will do them in a heartbeat, which probably suggests that he didn't look too much into the actual morality or understanding of what taking a brand deal like this could actually do to not only your career path, but like what people perceive you to be. Because you're not only promoting something that is literally aimed at children when it is not something that should be aimed at children at all. You want to be in a conscious mind and be of age to be able to make that decision if you want to go into something like that. You don't want to try and indoctrinate them early so then they get the obsessed thought in the head, because that is morally crazy. But I did find something that even further proved the fact that this is the case, that he probably just hasn't cross-checked. So in this video here, you can be seen with Chunks and Philly, and they're wearing a free certain, thing that's happening in the world at the moment that is absolutely horrible hoodie. And in this clip, he does actually talk about trying to educate himself around the situation that's going on there.
We can constantly share it, make sure that this doesn't go silent and everyone forgets about what's happening in Palestine, because this has been happening, obviously not at this alarming rates, but it has been happening for X amount of years. But what we can do is basically just informing ourselves. We can't have people that sit on the fence and say, I don't really have an opinion about this, I'm not educated on it, therefore I'm not going to say anything. No, you're literally as complicit as the people that are...
Complicit, good word.
Yeah, complicit with the people that are not pro-Palestine. For me, it's like, go educate yourself.
And also
go
what you
find out.
And also what you said again before we started the pod is boycotting certain.
And that's what I was about to say.
organisations.
Another thing, 2 ways of actually helping would be sharing and making sure that we boycott the major brands.
And I'll just add, that is a very pertinent point. People do need to educate themselves around the entire situation that is going on in the Middle East right now, because it's such a horrible situation and everyone needs to understand the sort of problems that are going on there. But I don't think I need to tell you, the entire clip around that is around boycotting certain brands because they are working towards this sort of problem that's happening. And you can hear Philly agree with it, and he agrees with it whilst wearing this jumper that he's wearing. And what happens 3 weeks later? He ends up doing a segment with the UK Army. For bags, bro. Like, literally for a lot of money. I don't even know how much money that you get for, like, an army sponsorship, but I think considering the sort of demographic they're going for and aiming, it has to be very high up there. So Philly could go on a podcast and chat about the fact that, oh, we should be boycotting XYZ and educating himself on the situation, and then only a few weeks later, he's in a situation where one of the main contributors towards the problem that's going on, who promotes stuff against it, is actually going to be there. Like, the word dystopian once again does come to mind. Like, it's just mental. Like, the abject horror of looking at this, like, or you are literally saying one thing and then doing the other for money. The UK government via the army has promoted hundreds of millions of pounds worth of effort towards stuff that is causing destruction there. So by him taking this sponsorship deal around the army, he is directly promoting something that he says he's so abhorrently against. And I don't think he can even claim ignorance with this one. There is no way you can claim ignorance considering the fact it is the army. Like, how obvious is that to stare at in the face? Like, there is no way that you can be taught about these certain things and not even link the two together. And then, like I said as well, it's not just that fact, it's also the fact that, well, we're promoting this to children, so then they sign up to it in a couple of years' time. Well, oh yeah, Fortnite's for everyone. You see Philly playing Fortnite on Twitch. No, it's aimed at children. That's what the game is now. So it's illegal, it's an organisation that's causing problems at the moment in the world, and it's morally inept to even go for it. But you must have got a 6-figure check or something up that region to even consider something like that. Unless you weren't paying attention and you just signed the dotted line and went on. You can say no. You really can. But then you've also got Philly in these sort of scenarios where, like, this is from like 16 hours ago. He's promoting Gulf oil, which obviously oil is something that is, it's a commodity in the world. Let's put it that way. And it's not just Gulf oil. It's Gulf oil North Latin America, which is, it's so weird. What? That's such a weird collab and diversion. But the only reason I showed you that there is because it shows that he just kind of just signs the dotted line and walks on, it seems. It doesn't seem like he puts any fact checking into it. It's just bags. It's just money at the end of the day. Because I don't know about you, especially with the kind of fan base that Young Philly has, I can't really imagine they're going to be very interested in Gulf oil. And then when you mix it with stuff like this, of him bragging, it only comes off a little bit worse, doesn't it?
Yeah. Early YouTube career, man used to make so much bread, but did not know how to save. I'd get paid like a 7 sheet a month, like a 7 racks. Sometimes 2 racks, 3 racks, 4. Sometimes 5 bills. What's the most you've let me?
Maybe like a 10 jib.
Yeah, maybe like a 10.
And I really do get it for him personally, that like this entire point of he came up from nothing. He really did. He managed to pave a way in the world for himself, and that is really respectable. But at the same time, you've got to have a bit of like whereabouts about you when you're doing stuff like this, because you're not only promoting something that is actually against the like advertisable rules from Epic, but there is 100% no way that all of this is not aimed at children. Like, it's impossible. It's just, that is what it is. So will you be turning up on the 24th to see this action unfold? I really think you should. It's going to be on Army's Twitch or something. I don't know. They haven't even said where it's going to be. So he's the most ironic one to look at from there. Like, actually looking at it, my head goes thinking about it, because like there is no actual moral compass towards what he did if he believes how he believes. And I really think he's got some serious questions to answer for himself, for his fans, for everyone else. Maybe he just needs to pay a bit more attention to what he's doing, and maybe stop worrying about money all the time. But there's also 3 other creators that have been involved. There seems to be Elzthewitch, Talia, and King Kenny, and of course they've all uploaded this same tweet, I'm going to do this, and it only seems to be getting worse at the time. So for example, Charlie, this is fucking bleak, holy shit. And it really is bleak. It's just, like they said, dystopian world. It's just a bit odd, isn't it? Elzthewitch is another massive UK creator. She's been in Sidemen videos. She's got her own channel. She does Twitch streams. She does quite a lot of stuff as well. And my only thought from looking at all of these people is that they're potentially under the same brand manager that sorts out all these promotions, potentially. And Els is definitely very well known for her brand promotions. For example, like there's quite a few on her Instagram. Past 3 out of her 8 videos have brand deals in them, and that's totally fine. You can do what you want. You can do what you want and make money. And actually, I really applaud people who are able to become this sort of brand image that can project stuff and make a lot of money. But then the question becomes, when you make so much money, you're always on these trips, you're doing this, that, and the other for this brand, that brand, that brand, and they're all going to be like 5-figure sums. Like, surely when you have something like this that comes on your desk of literal Fortnite for army jobs, would you not just think, oh, I'll put that to the side, maybe not next time, get me somewhere else? To me, the entire thing is just morally inept. Like, it doesn't have any substance to it. Why would you look at what's coming and think, yeah, sounds like a good idea. My actual audience will like that. I'd hope that when I am completing brand deals, I would put myself in the position of a viewer and think, what would the viewer think about this? And then actually come to a concise conclusion about whether I should sponsor or be sponsored, from this person or this group or this establishment. And it doesn't seem that any of these people have done that. And sorry, I'm just crying at this. Chug's mate is twerking for the army. Lol, do better, bro. Like, it's just, I know that these people are good people. They definitely can do a lot better than this. And the problem is when you do something like this on so many occasions, because you're constantly doing like brand collabs, it kind of shows that you're more so just doing it for the fact that you're making money rather than you're actually projecting a product to someone. And I understand that, yeah, the entire point of a sponsorship, it's all for money, but does that matter? When you're not vetting something, when you're not going through and checking things, it's only going to get worse. And you'll eventually be in a situation where you're promoting the army with Fortnite. And also, it's not a scam, but it actually reminds me of this. If you remember it, Save the Kids crypto scandal, where basically a load of massive US YouTubers, they decided that they wanted to get the bag. So they promoted a token called Save the Kids. It was meant to be like a charitable thing, and then just all the money sipped out of it. And it's different. It's very much different. Definitely isn't the same thing, but it's the fact that someone has probably come up to these influencers, these US ones, and been like, I'll give you 50 grand to, lob it on Twitter, do it. And then they're like, Jesus Christ, yeah, not fact checked, and then they've ended up scamming their fans. I'm not saying that they're scamming in this case, it's an army post, they're not scamming, but it's potentially just as bad because they're influencing a younger audience into doing something that they really don't want to think about at that age. Media has always tried to link as well shooting games to real life, and it's been a massive problem, and it's caused loads of hurdles in like gaming in the past. And the fact that they're doing something directly like that, like this it's a moral conundrum. And the other two people that ended up doing this are King Kenny, who is also on the beta squad, and Talia, who is actually Simon Miniminter from the Sidemen's girlfriend, well, wife now, which I'm not sure why you need the money so bad to be doing this from both of you, really. But then the thing for me is two of them are affiliated with the beta squad, and then also Talia is affiliated with the Sidemen, so they have so many years of experience of doing these brand deals. Why has no one said, oh, I'm going to be doing a brand deal with the army in Fortnite? And they just look at them like, come on. Like, it's absolutely mental. I don't understand it at all. And from all these four influencers, and also just to know, it says Team Talia and Team Kenny, for example, and there's two people on each side. So is there going to be another four influencers because there's two events going on that are going to end up doing this? To me, the actual setup's terrible. It's potentially illegal, allegedly, from looking at the files. And it's all just weird how it seems that money can really get in the way and cloud your judgment with stuff like this. For all means, do a brand deal, get the bag, get loads of the bag, get the biggest bag you can, but also do it in a way which can actually benefit not only yourself, but also the people around you and the people who give you that audience in the first place. And to me, it really does seem like all these creators have just seen this brand deal, just signed the dotted line and walked off with the day without realizing the actual consequences that could come out from it, or basically just looking at it and realizing, that's a bit fucking weird, maybe we shouldn't do that. And I mean, all the comments have told them that in all of these 5 promotions that I've seen, and there's a lot of hidden comments as well, and it really makes you wonder, why is that the case? I'm not trying to cancel any of the creators that are in this or going through this or anything like that. It's just something that is so ridiculously stupid that they should even think about signing up to. I just had to talk about it, and at the end of the day, they really need to understand that their judgment and their actions can have consequences, especially when it's tied to something as sensitive as going to war, when it's projected towards children. But what do you think? Please do let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear it. This has blown my mind today. If you enjoyed the video, please do hit the like and sub. I'd love to see you back. Once again, thank you for 10k. We're nearly on 11k now. Absolutely crazy. And I'll see you in the next one. I've been Jet Vaz. Take care.